Good morning and welcome. We have been organizing this series of creation of wealth every year, except earlier 2 years. We all know that pandemic COVID had immobilized us. At that time also we did our program and it was virtual. Last year our subject was art and science of investing. We had started our journey of fund management on 29 July 2009. This is the place where a lamp was lighted by late Sri Ravindrabhai Vyapari. That flame is still bright. Sri Ravindrabhai Vyapari blessed us at the launch of the occasion and has continued to be our chief guest in all the functions of creation of wealth. After his sad demise, his son Hirenbhai Vyapari has associated with us and he has been a very good well-wisher of our company. He is also on our board of advisors, which works virtually like a board of directors, and we are thankful to him. And see, we have been organizing this program for 13 years. We have been giving presentation on economy and investment. The objective is that we give some value add to investors. The other objective is knowledge enrichment. So with these two objectives, value addition and knowledge enrichment, we have been giving this presentation every year, and it's also a time to get feedback from our clients. So we get question and answer session in every program, and we try to get comments of our clients. Our Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi has called next 25 years as Amrit Kaal. We are going to celebrate 75 years of independence after a fortnight. And India at 75 to India at 100, those 25 years are going to be Amrit Kaal. India को सोने की चिड़िया बोलते थे, और before 500 years, India was the most prosperous country. Because of rule by Mughals and British, we were put behind. But it seems that those golden days are coming back and we are going to have a lot of prosperity in next 25 years. We will complete 100 years in year 2047, after 25 years. What will be the scenario after 100 years? We have a tag of developing nation. By 2047, our developing tag will be replaced by developed nation. So we will be in parity with USA and other company. India will be the third largest economy in the world after China and US. GDP will be more than $40 trillion. This is as per estimate by a number of entities. At present, we are at $3 trillion or maybe $3.5 trillion. Will rise to $40 trillion. Sensex. We have done simple compounding at the rate of 12%. So you can see where the Sensex will go. Everybody will not believe. But in our stall in Udyog 2000, when we had written that Sensex will go to 25,000, at that time also people were not believing. Demographics will change. We will not have lower class. We will have middle class and upper class only. We all are striving for happiness, right? In life, what do we want? Happiness? From where do we get happiness? One is doing what we like. We may like traveling, we may like reading, or whatever is your hobby. When you pursue your hobby, that is where we get happiness. We also get lot of happiness in family, particularly children. Then we get a good deal of happiness in deriving from your profession, because it's the job that we love to do and we get a lot of pleasure out of that. Are we happy when we create wealth? Obvious answer is yes. पैसे आपके पास आते हैं तो आप हमेशा खुश तो होंगे ही. Wealth can be created in many ways. Most of you are businessmen, so whatever surplus you generate in business is creating wealth for you. If somebody gives a gift or you inherit something from your parents, grandparents, then that is also another way of creating wealth. You may win lottery, that is also creating wealth. But what we are going to talking about is investing well to create wealth. So that is our subject. Our services are primary in twofold. One is Investwell advisory services. In Investwell advisory services, what we do is we provide services to clients as per their needs. We usually target high net worth investors. They need one or two or other things. So we provide that specific service. It's a consultancy services, customized consultancy services. You all would have invested from time to time, but that investment might not be attended very well. So in that case, there is a need for review restructuring. Then we also need to do some planning about future, how you would like to add more funds, when you would like to add more funds. Usually, most of the professionals and business people, they invest regularly. So in that case, comes the next investment should go to where? Means asset allocation. Then most important is that investing is just 10%, but 90% of the wealth is created by monitoring, means review and restructuring. And now there are so many other aspects of investments like taxation, legal matters. So we help in coordinating with the investors. So our first part of service is advisory services. If you see position in USA, then there every investor will have one or another person as advisor. And that advisor will be helping the investor extensively in investing well. In India, that trend is emerging and we have also taken position for that trend. The other service which you are well aware of is our portfolio management service, where we have three plans: Legend, Marvel and AI Dynamic. Legend is large cap oriented buy and hold strategy. Marvel is similar but mid cap oriented. And in AI Dynamic, we have blended artificial intelligence with human intelligence. This is a unique plan that we have in our portfolio. Our plan Legend got the second best performance award from PMS Bazaar. Full credit goes to Siddharth Mandlewala, who is our fund manager. Now, when PMS Bazaar gave us this award, they had assigned work of evaluation to CRISIL. So it is not that PMS Bazaar declared us second best performance, but it is CRISIL who did that job. And how CRISIL evaluated? So they had given 55% weightage to return, that is last 3 years return. So they had taken all the plans that were there in for more than 3 years. Then volatility of portfolio, how stable your portfolio is there, that weightage was 25%. Incidentally, Siddharth is accustomed to not change the portfolio very often. So he is most consistent with most of the stocks. Then company concentration. Suppose you have taken only one stock, given 50% weightage, and that has done well. That does not mean that that's a good performance. Similarly, you are only in one field of sector, then that is again not considered. So they have given weightage of 5%. And last is that how fast you can liquidate your portfolio. So based on these criteria, we have been judged the second best. Now, when we see that what performance a fund manager is delivering, our usual system is that what is the return of investment, and second is comparative return. Most of us are evaluating our investment based on these two criteria. These two criteria are definitely not wrong, but let's check one more criteria where we can judge performance in a better way, and that is rolling return. I cannot explain rolling return within 1 minute, but what I can say is this is a better measure. How? Our PMS was launched on 29 July 2009. So from 29 July 2009 to 29 July 2010, that is 1 year performance. From 30th July 2009 to 30th July 2010, that is another performance. Similarly, every day there is a performance in context of 1 year. So this rolling return is average of all the returns during the entire phase of the Legend plan. For example, if somebody had invested at one point of time and exited at second point of time, so what average return an investor has got? And similar is the risk-adjusted return. In risk-adjusted return, it is also considered how much risk you take for delivering a particular return. Sometimes fund manager takes very high risk, but that may not be consistent for return. So we have done analysis of our performance from rolling return as well as risk-adjusted return. Our Legend plan, since inception on 29 July 2009, has delivered 15.4% return net of all the cost, and our benchmark is BSE 200. So at that point of time, return of BSE 200 12.5. Then there is a Sharpe ratio, which is a measure of risk, and beta, which is also a measure of risk. So when we adjust with this beta, then there is called a Jensen's alpha. We know alpha. Alpha is an outperformance. But Jensen's alpha is the outperformance or underperformance considering the risk part also. So it is alpha with the risk parameters. Similarly, Marvell, there we have a Jensen's alpha of 0.3. In mid-cap, it's usually happening that number of good stocks also do not perform for number of other reasons. And the third plan that we had introduced in 2019 is AI dynamic. So it has been almost 2.5 years. During 2.5 years, it has created alpha of 12.9%. So this AI dynamic, we use collaboration with one US entity. They give us a trend based on AI, then we apply quant model, and then we make regular review and restructuring based on that. Now, what is happening is that in last 1 year, 1.5 year, most of the fund managers are underperforming. So we have taken one evaluation that what is really happening. This is the list of 10 stocks that outperformed in 2021. Now, if you look at the stocks, some of the stocks are cyclical stocks, some of the stocks are utility stocks, some of the stocks have performed well, but fundamentally they may not be good. and some of the stocks are overvalued. If our fund manager would have invested in these stocks, he would have delivered the highest return. Instead, what are the stocks Siddharth is holding? Siddharth is holding Infosys, ICICI Bank, State Bank of India, Titan. These are the top stocks. Based on what? Based on fundamentals. Return on capital employed, revenue growth, debt equity ratio, free cash flow, corporate governance. We have a team of research and they do all this analysis, and these fundamentals are very, very important for ultimate performance of a company. Of course, there are so many subjective parameters also, but most of the fund managers, they take judgment based on all this analysis. So what happens is that if you would have bought these stocks, you would have outperformed. But since we have bought these stocks and we are holding, we have not done outperformance. Does that mean we are doing our job not well? If you consider that how wealth is created over a longer period of time, then those who understand this job well, they will be in a position to understand that it is the stocks on right hand side that can create wealth in ultimate analysis. Finally, we would like to convey our confidence. We preach what we do. It's not that we just preach and we do not do that. Promoters means my personal investment is in the same stock as those in a portfolio of Legend, Marvel and AI Dynamic. In fact, I am the first investor in any plan of the company. Company's fund manager Siddharth, he believes in equities and his personal investment is also in the same stock that you have in your portfolio. And he is very confident. So we are also confident that yes, we have the right stocks and these stocks can deliver ultimately very good return. So with this, I welcome you all again and thank you very much.